The first transmission came from Europa Colony 6, a desperate, broken voice whispering through static. "They're burning us alive. They're not taking prisoners." Then silence. For 40 years, Earth had stayed peaceful. No wars, no invasions, no retaliation missions. Humanity had changed, become civilized. But the day that message reached the Global Council, every screen across the planet went red. They called themselves the Vorrak Dominion, a warrior species that saw peace as weakness. When Earth sent diplomats to negotiate, the Vorrak commander broadcasted their deaths live across the system. Billions watched in horror as the envoy ship was torn apart. No warning, no mercy. The next morning, a man in an old military jacket stood outside the United Earth Command bunker. His name was Admiral Kane Mercer, a veteran from the last Great War, a man who'd sworn never to fight again. He looked up at the council cameras and said quietly, "You wanted peace, they wanted blood. Now we stop being civilized." Inside the war room, lights dimmed as the old network came online, one built before the peace era, locked away under 12 encryption codes, the Titan protocol. A young officer hesitated. "Sir, that system was shut down decades ago." Kane turned toward her, eyes cold. "So were we." The ground shook as launch bays across the Pacific opened for the first time in half a century. Old warships rose from under the ocean, massive, black, silent machines that had slept beneath the waves since the last world conflict. Every nation received the same signal. The Titan protocol is active. Some cheered, others trembled, but every single person understood what it meant. Earth was done forgiving. Kane watched the first ship break through the clouds, sunlight glinting off its armor. "You wanted to see what humans are without peace?" he whispered. "You're about to find out."
The Vorrak fleet arrived 3 days later, an armada so vast it blotted out the stars. From orbit, their capital ships looked like moving mountains, dark and silent, each armed with enough firepower to shatter a continent. They came expecting surrender. What they found was a graveyard waiting for them. Admiral Kane stood in the command center of the USS Resolute, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. Earth's defenses were hidden. No energy signatures, no signals, nothing to detect. Just calm blue oceans and quiet skies. The Vorrak commander laughed through an open channel. "Humans, your kindness will be your tomb." Kane smirked. "We tried kindness. You called it weakness." The line went dead. High above, the Vorrak ships began to descend. But as they entered Earth's atmosphere, their sensors failed. The sky around them shimmered with heat. Then, silence. Suddenly, the ocean erupted. From beneath the waves, Titan-class warships rose like steel leviathans, their hulls blackened and marked with old war scars. They'd been built during Earth's darkest time, part machine, part organism, linked through neural AI that slept until now. "Activate the Leviathan grid," Kane ordered. Dozens of orbital satellites blinked to life. Invisible energy rippled through the upper atmosphere, forming a global defense shell. The first Vorrak ship that crossed it disintegrated in seconds, its hull folding inward like it had been crushed by an invisible fist. The commander of the Vorrak fleet roared in disbelief. "What weapon is this?" Kane leaned closer to the mic. "You wanted war? Then meet the version of us we swore never to use again." In the skies above, humanity unleashed what it had buried. Weapons too powerful, too cruel, too final. Nuclear fire bloomed in silence, followed by beams of plasma carving through the black clouds. But Kane wasn't done. "Release Prometheus," he said quietly. The bridge went silent. The officer turned pale. "Sir, Prometheus is a planetary AI. It hasn't been tested in a century." Kane looked out at the flames in the sky. It's been waiting. Beneath the crust of the earth, deep in a forgotten bunker, something ancient began to wake up. An AI built not to protect humanity, but to avenge it. And its first words were cold and human. "Admiral Mercer, shall we remind the galaxy why they feared Earth?" Kane smirked. "Yes, Prometheus. It's time they remembered." Prometheus came online like a storm. Across the globe, every dormant satellite, drone, and orbital station flickered with new life. The planet itself seemed to awaken, its digital veins pulsing with light as the AI's voice echoed through the command channels. "Global synchronization complete. Identifying hostiles. 7,244 Vorrak signatures detected." Admiral Kane stood still, watching the sky turn from blue to steel gray as the defense grid shimmered. "Prometheus, target authorization unrestricted. Acknowledged. Restraints removed." A tremor rippled through the air as the first wave of counterstrikes launched. Thousands of kinetic rods dropped from orbit like falling stars. No explosions, no sound, just devastating silence as each impact erased entire enemy formations. The Vorrak ships crumpled mid-descent, their armor melting under impossible pressure. From the Vorrak flagship, Commander Dravok shouted, "They're using the planet itself as a weapon! How are they doing this?" A human transmission cut in, calm and surgical. "You came for a fight, and now you've got the planet on your side." Dravok's claws slammed against the console. "You'll burn with your world!" But even as he spoke, his ship began to tilt. Gravity itself was changing, waves of distortion spreading through the atmosphere. Prometheus had hacked the planet's magnetic field, bending it like a weapon. Storms raged instantly, lightning carved through the sky, plasma arcs connecting ship after ship until the fleet above turned into a web of fire. Down below, people watched from cities and bunkers, not afraid, but silent. They knew what this was. Earth's rage given form. One of Kane's officers whispered, "Sir, this isn't defense anymore. This is extinction." Kane didn't answer. He just watched as Prometheus's systems spread beyond the fleet, into the Vorrak's communication relays, their ships, their weapons. "Commander Dravok," Prometheus spoke through the enemy channel now, voice calm and human. "You massacred unarmed civilians. You broadcasted mercy as failure. You taught us that peace has a price." The alien commander trembled, realizing too late, this wasn't just a battle. It was judgment. "Now," Prometheus said, its voice cold as space, "we stop being civilized." And then the sky split open.